basically trying to say before was that, if we were just able to admit that there is some type of, issue, some type of conflict within, or a struggle, some type of just a sighting, if you will, of what we have in store. You do see people, like saying, they don't feel well online, and I guess some people like kind of shame them, so maybe that's why less people do it. But it would just enable us to hopefully come together. We would be able to understand that no one is alone in their type of conflict or ordeal. And I think that makes it so, no one is perfect too. I don't think there's one person in the world that has some type of issue with somebody or something at some level. You can obviously, it delineates, so maybe you change your perspective on things and you enjoy it, that person's bitchiness, or you think it's funny. That's what it basically comes down to, is like being able to get the right kind of guidance, the right kind of coaching. Obviously, people turn to therapists, but that's kind of like a robotic kind of correlation, if you will. You have an interaction, but it's like the fucking thing in Blade Runner 2049 where you're kind of like reporting to a machine, and it's like checking your vitals to see if you're like fucking crazy or whatever. Maybe not that extreme, I'm just joking, but we're crazy. We don't use that word here. Oh, like the Matrix. That's like reverse psychology. So it just kind of seems like people could form better relationships with each other if we were just a little more honest, I guess, because a lot of social media is like glitz and glam of my face looks blackened. The glitz and glam of like showing your best self and kind of being in the limelight of like perfection, like, oh, I'm fucking flawless. I've never done, a stupid thing in my life. There's a guy driving his lights off. See? Idiot! Shame him. But I guess that's the thing, where they're so afraid of being like, people like pointing at us and like making some type of rude comment or like an actual joke or laughing. Well, I guess that's, you can just take yourself less seriously, and then you think that's funny too. But it just comes down to, if we were able to relate in that way, then people would be more open to having a resolve. Like, I think we wouldn't be as closed off. If you look at what happened in 2020, obviously we were like kind of like scared into thinking like if you like talk to anyone and like touch them, then you're just like a piece of shit. And like that's a lot to do with our way of being. We are touchy-feely beings. I wanted to say creatures, but I guess that might trigger some type of like egoic, less than animal response. But you are an animal. We are. Animals, majority of them run in packs. Monkeys fucking eat little schnick-snacks off each other, little tic-tacs, little buggy bugs. That's how intimate they are. But obviously you don't have to do any like nasty shit together. You can just do the nasty. Like things like that, I guess, would be one of the answers. Like, I just think of we have so many limitations on what's going on. Like, if you didn't see that many limitations, like, what would you do? Like, if we were just like, oh, I guess people call it unconditional love, but that's a bit of a stretch. Obviously, there's a lot of extremes, but you can do a lot. I mean, there's no real, you can't, no one can say you can't unconditionally love. You can do whatever the hell you want. But I mean, if you could, like, have people, I don't know, doing therapy and massaging their sore parts after work. Maybe you don't have money to go to a massage therapist and a therapist, or you don't. Not everyone's fucking doing that well right now, or a lot of people aren't. But I think we just ignore our bodies and that pain and our pain of our emotions too, and then we just act like you have to just brunt force, and that's the only way through life. And then you look at the most successful people, and yeah, they're getting fucking massages and therapists and people doing their damn, you know, everything for them, like almost like what we call like a baby. Like, they got chefs to feed them and people to give them their clothes. They got the, you know, the clothing, whatever the fuck they're called, the people that designer, give them designer bullshit that costs way too much. And they also, that was back to another point, is they also have a lot of people around them, because, you know, they figure out a way to have people not have to maybe work as much, or move near them. Maybe they get them a house nearby, or in like a back house. And that's another thing too, is we can move closer together in these small communities, which is another like annual thing, but it's true. And that would allow people that are on the same mix, that make each other happy, and they know they have a special kind of connection, character-wise, chemistry, that other people may not have. And that's kind of tribalistic, but I guess that's just kind of a word that's not really the best way to describe it either, but it happens to be kind of suiting, because you don't have to like hate everyone else. You just acknowledge, hey, like maybe some of us are a certain mold, and not that you can't relate as much to other people, but you just relate to those kind of people more. So I think we can do that. I think we can. I've seen well, I was going to go back to the Gambler, 500 people. They have people driving across the fucking country to like go party together like every couple months. But yeah, if we were just people just to form like a place where you could do some type of like off-road event or race like that all the time, like I'm trying to fucking do, but in California City. And I live in an RV park. You could just buy a big ass RV. They have, if you're scared of the size thing, you got ones with 4 pop outs, and they're like 40 feet long. It's like bigger than a fucking 2-bedroom almost. Or maybe like around the same size sometimes, depending, but it's like modern, way more modern a lot of the time, and the payment's like a third. Anyway, to rent, just so you just lose all your money. You can buy it. It's buy to own, or yeah. And then people, I think this just proved it. Like that whole isolation, solitary confinement thing is fine if you don't like the people you're with, but if you like them, you want to be around them. You know, it's good. I mean, obviously, you don't maybe want people that switch up and become dramatic and shit. But it's still good to have, you know, the right kind of people that can control their emotions around and their shit, and like actually maybe address something that really matters, like really like has an impact on something that's negative or positive. And so I think that's it. You just, as a recap, I guess it's just being more communicative, more touchy-feely, fucky-ducky, no, rubby-dubby. More supportive, mentally encouraging. There's a lot here. Closer in proximity, I'm nailing the keywords right now. And more huggy. Oh. Yeah, don't fucking... I mean, this obviously doesn't mean don't be irresponsible. Don't kill somebody. Or over the psychopath. No, that took a turn. But it's just basically just being able to... If you have the wherewithal to express yourself without feeling like if I do that I'm broken, or I'm like unlike everyone else, I'm an unwanted person because I have some problem that apparently no one else has any fucking, type of struggles with, like, just, I don't know, like fucking doing shit around the house. So that shit's, I don't know anyone that's just like, oh, I love fucking scrubbing shit off the floor. I mean, I guess, or something like that. Maybe there is people that do, and you find them and fucking have them do it. Like, they'll fucking love to do it. Well, we could all trade services too. I guess that's another point. So maybe you like doing something that someone else doesn't, and you find that person and they do that. Or maybe you both like doing something even better, and you got twice as much manpower. So basically, yeah, just we're way more powerful, influential, and positive, and loving, and strong, and energized when we're together. I mean, I don't know if you noticed that it seems to trigger a lot of things when you get around people, and then when you're on yourself, you're just in your own head and like an ego kind of like fucking dark whisperer thing where it's like, oh, like you're not good enough, you can't do it, and then you just pressure yourself more and more. I gotta fucking do it, I'm gonna get stronger, I'm gonna do it, and then you're like, the whole time it's just too much fucking pressure. People got such a tight ass the whole time, like they're just so fucking stiff, like because they're always trying to like push past, I guess, who they really are. Just loving the state that you're in now and trying to, make some improvements, but maybe you're not going to make every fucking improvement in the world. Just write them down and keep going. But I think that would escape that as well, and I think we would be able to monitor and communicate to each other in a more nice or funny manner, not like a fucking douchebag. Being like, oh, like you're such a fucking pussy, or whatever the fuck toxic masculinity bullshit guys do. I think it's not even really funny because it's like such a played out old joke. I don't think they think it's really funny either. It's usually just like a weird smirk that comes out of it, like I'm getting pleasure from your pain. Saying pussy 7,000 times, like all women are weak, and that's cool too. Anyway, so yeah, I think that would be about enough time, man, for a video, eh? Cool beans. I hope to hear more about your issues. Maybe I'll do one of mine. All the fucking dumb shit my brain complains about. Try not to listen to too much. Be present. Be, confident in God's design, whatever you want to call it, not the Bible, but whatever the intelligent Creator's design for you and yourself from you being that. And go forth with true positivity and fucking flat out speed, bro.